I'm too sexy for my bed. Too sexy for my bed. Too sexy for my bed. I'm too sexy for my bed. Too sexy for my bed. Too sexy for my bed. What's up? It's your boy Carcito here. And I'm glad to be here so I can talk to you guys about TV shows that ain't coming back, baby. As much as you must want them or like them or however you feel about them, they ain't coming back, baby. Sometimes they come back. Just giving a few of you time to get here. Here are some TV shows that are not coming back, ladies and gentlemen. All TV series must eventually come to an end, no matter how hard it may be for you guys to say goodbye. And it's so hard to say goodbye to some of these shows. Oh, oh. And I say some of these shows you didn't watch and didn't care about. The others it hurt to even say it out your mouth. It's so hard to say goodbye to TV shows. Now, let's talk about the shows that got to go. Pearson will not be back in 2020. If you watch the TV show Suits, Jessica Pearson was on the show Suits, and everybody loved Jessica Pearson's character on the show. Now, they did a spinoff called Pearson, starring Gina Torres, aka Lawrence Fishburne's wife. And Gina Torres plays Jessica Pearson. Now, they were doing a 10-episode run. It just didn't capture the audience that they thought they would get from the Suits audience, and averaged about half of the viewership from Suits. So they said, well, it's time to scratch it. That was on USA. So what do you expect? It's USA Network. I can't believe Suits lasted this long. You know? A lot of you are Suits fans. I like that show. Suits was good. Suits was good. If I want to watch gay guys in suits, I could just watch the Oscars or any one of these news shows. Lodge 49 will not be back. Lodge 49, after 2 seasons of making the second rounds, Lodge 49 is gone. The AMC show, anybody who ever watched Lodge 49, look like a bunch of misfits in a town, and Lodge 49, yeah, Lodge 49. That's gone. And NBC is getting rid of the in-between. The in-between. The In Between has some of the worst ratings ever. Nobody was in between and getting rid of that show. Never heard of these shows, and you never will. The Grand Hotel is closing. They thought they were getting ready and ramping up for a second season. Following its ratings in the freshman run, the show executive producer, who is Eva Longoria, who the thing was based off there, on a Spanish format following the exploits of the owner and staff of the Miami Beach Hotel. Nobody cared. Spike Lee, she's gotta have it. Netflix said we ain't gonna have it no more. Nobody's clicking on it. So Spike Lee is gonna try to shop it on another network. And the biggest shock of all, Murphy Brown is canceled. People like, I thought it was canceled 30 years ago. No, they brought the show back in a reboot. This show gave her 5 Emmys when she was doing it. But the ratings weren't strong enough, and they quickly started to decline, leading CBS to axe the show after 13 episodes. Then it's this crazy show with Marsha Clark, The Fix. I'm so glad that garbage is gone. The one who she got famous for prosecuting O.J. Simpson and losing and banging Charles Darden, the black guy she was with, which led to her divorce in the middle of the biggest criminal trial in the history of this world. Well, the series focused on an LA attorney who gets a second chance at prosecuting a celebrity 8 years after she fails to convict him for murder. Wonder where they got that idea. ABC canceled the show. Before the season finale episode, they just said this garbage is not working. Let's let this go. And after 17 years, it is over. Last Call with Carson Daly is finally over. In case you don't know what that is, Carson Daly had a show called Last Call with Carson Daly. That means if you're a C-list celebrity, this is the show for you. And he didn't get canceled. He basically canceled the show and said, you know what? I want to focus on my other projects. I got the NBC The Voice. I got the Today Show, and other areas that I'm passionate about within the company. The Golf Channel has always been a favorite. We have some exciting things to look forward to. I want to keep being Carson Daly and just get paid for being Carson Daly. In other words, I'm white. And I'm getting paid for just being white. Next. Designated Survivor will not be back next year. Carson is his name, Carson Daly. That's his actual name, Carson Daly. Not the name of the show. Last Call with Carson Daly. That's just the name of the talk show. But that's very funny that you said that. That sounds like a name. Carlson. Carlson sounds like a name. It is a name. It's his name. That was hilarious, dude. Tell you meet some great people in the chat. Designated Survivor is getting a hook. This show was already canceled, and Netflix said, we're going to save this show. ABC said, knock yourself out. No one likes it. They were like, we like it. It's got like a couple of people in the UK and the Europeans. They love this show for some reason, and they can't stop watching it. And it had a little following once it hit Netflix. Netflix put it out, and they were like, hey, what is this? Designated Survivor. I like it. Keeper Sullivan was in it, and just didn't take place real well, you know. Sorry. I think Longmire is getting an axe too. Longmire's gone, you know, all those shows. So, yeah, that hurt a lot of people who like that show. I see Prague like the show. Yep, we liked it. Well, here's another one that Americans like, that you didn't like, and I didn't like. Elementary. The Sherlock Holmes and Watson show that should have been over the day it's aired. Lucy Liu and Johnny Lee Miller. Its final season was in the summer. After 7 years. I never thought this show would last 7 years. I was aggravated with this show in 3 episodes. I said, I can't watch this show. They got a female Watson, Lucy Liu. Johnny Lee Miller was all right, but the Sherlock Holmes movie was out. I'm like, the Sherlock Holmes movie is out, and this putting this to shame. There's no way I could watch this show after watching Sherlock Holmes. So finally, it's over. And a show that a lot of people, I never knew anything about it. It's a show called Ransom. It had already been on for 3 years. I'm like, it has? I never heard of it a day in my life. But CBS had a show called Ransom. Then they sent out a note to the fans, thanking the fans, saying, look, it's been a great 3 seasons. You know, you guys have been there with us for these 3 years, and we are proud of you. We love telling stories with strong, smart characters, resolving conflicts with words instead of violence. Thank you for watching. If that's what the show was about, words instead of violence, and it's a show called Ransom, I'm sorry, you're going to lose a lot of fans. That was your problem right there. I can see where the ratings went wrong just from that message. It's over, baby. Oh, this is going to get a lot of people out here where I live. And all the people in Texas. They are going to be upset about this Netflix show, The Ranch, which was renewed for a fourth and final season back in August. And this will be airing in 2020. Even though it's already over, they will run the last episodes available to stream September the 13th. And the final 10 episodes will launch in 2020. They just gonna stretch it over. But the Netflix show The Ranch was Ashton Kutcher's his series that he had. They had 20 what's that? 20 episode seasons split into two halves. So the first half was last season, built as part 7, and then the final 10 will air in 2020. But the show is over. And everybody likes Sam Elliott, so that's why he's the real cowboy. You can't have a show called The Ranch and don't have Sam Elliott in it. Yep. Now look. Now when I come through, I like to say, and that's the thing about him, is that he could really act, but everybody keeps throwing him on a cowboy hat and say, "You're the cowboy." He could really act. There's been movies where he's been great when he wasn't the cowboy. Don't forget, he was Lieutenant Ross and Ange Lee's The Hawk. And finally, it is over. I can celebrate No More Modern Family. Thank you. I can't believe this show was on the air this long. I was just happy that Al Bundy had a job. But I couldn't believe this show stayed on the air. This show was probably the most shocking of any television show I've ever seen make it this far. I almost thank my lucky stars that this show, that Sofia Vergara, she is really lucky. This show saved her career. She was going to have to go back to modeling. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have to go, Papi. I don't know. Gay couples on the show, they married and they got a baby, and I have no idea what was going on with this show. But I guess that's why people loved it, because it was a modern family, a gay couple with a kid, and a bunch of other families going on. It just, I don't know. I couldn't even understand this show at all. It really wasn't that funny at all. But it won a bunch of awards for reasons I have no idea. But it is getting off the screen, so we're making some progress. The Good Place. Well, this show was something that was built to really go one way. A lot of fans like this show, The Good Place. Well, it's a TV show based off movies we've seen before, where someone's in heaven and they're in a good place in heaven. And then you find out down the road that they're probably in a hospital in a coma, and they get a second chance at life. Did I ruin 4 seasons? Sorry about that. And Fuller House won't be back. Fuller House is getting the boot with all the controversy that was going on with Fuller House. The Full House reboot. It's just kind of hard to do that without the dad. And Aunt Becky out there like, my kids are going to this school and here's my money under the table. Now, Aunt Becky just kind of ruined everything on the show with that admissions scandal. Thank God. See, I'm telling you, this is beautiful. And yes, the show that unless you're 50 and older, you you're people 50 and older are outraged, but everybody else who's younger don't care about this show at all. Tim Allen's led sitcom Last Man Standing. After 6 seasons, and I just found out about it last year. See, the thing is, ABC canceled it after the 6 seasons, and then the fans were outraged, and they did an online petition. Then Fox picked it up for the 7th season. Then the 8th season, it aired like early this year. So it's got the axe, but now it's going to be on Fox. I don't know if they're going to do new shows. They just got the episodes, so they might save it. I don't know. Now, this is a show that I thought was all right. I Feel Bad with Amy Pollard produced this show. It's a fresh comedy on came out earlier at NBC. They only had 13 episodes, but they didn't get any real traction with the viewers. And they had like mediocre reviews, but I thought it was funny. But they decided not to go along with it. I thought it was funny. I saw like 2-3 episodes and thought it was funny. I just couldn't get my chance to watch it. Here's another show that was great. Just they canceling on CBS. The Fam. Fam was a funny show. Tone Bell and Nina, what's her name, Deveray, whatever. They were a new couple, but the show failed to draw much of an audience during its run. But the first season on CBS was great. Fam was hilarious. But I just think it was on the wrong network. If Fam came on Fox or something like that, it would have been more successful. CBS ain't going for that. And another CBS show, Happy Together. Damon Wayans Jr. show, Happy Together. The lowest rated comedy was was axed after 1 season. It ran for 13 episodes. And the season finale is going to air in like January or something. Where this is based on a true story. The executive producer of this show had a superstar living in his house. A superstar who was really famous wanted to live in their house and stay there. As they were representing him, he's like, look, I need to hide out from people. I need to stay in the house. So they basically made a TV show based on what happened in real life. A celebrity moves into Damon Wayans and his wife's house. A client that they represent, he started living with them. And he's basically treating them like they work for him in their own house. And he's staying out there in the house. So they made a TV show about it. It's like a story that you can't really expand for 4 and 5 seasons. That's what I thought. It was good for an episode or 2 or 3, but nothing you could really build on. So Happy Together is happily getting the boot. And just like the movie The Kids Are All Right, they tried to make a television series based around that movie's premise. And ABC had to pull the plug on The Kids Are All Right because they weren't all right. This was a very boring, terrible show. They tried to do like a that's their 70s show type of theme, and it didn't work. It just didn't work. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. These are one of the things that didn't work out. The Cool Kids, which was a funny show. This is probably the worst one ever. The Cool Kids is a great show, but it's just a show with guys of you're not 50, and I mean 50. If you're not in your 50s, you're not watching this show. But it is hilarious. Martin Mull, Vicki Lawrence, Leslie Jordan, David Allen Greer, the Cool Kids. And it is a bunch of old people sitting around cracking jokes, having fun, and it is hilarious. And they had what I thought was a decent year. But that's a funny show. That's good writing. Now, here's another good show that's leaving, that's ticking me off right now. Proven Innocent. Now, that's a show. I was mad when they canceled this back in May. Right after its season finale. And they were like, the show ain't coming back. I was mad as hell. People who stand wrongfully accused on a show and then they trying to prove their innocence, things like that. I like those type of shows. That pissed me off. Proven Innocent was gone. Then something shows that never should have been made. You see me with a leg pillow on. Do it look like I'm getting out of bed? I got a leg pillow. I got a leg pillow. This is $100 pillow, buddy. It's like a memory foam. My leg got its own pillow. And if guests come over, this day pillow. Now, there's a stupid show called Smith. This show should have never been made anyway. Then it comes out that the whole show was under controversy from the people on the staff filing complaints of race-based separation and improper crediting and compensation by the show people. And the star Frankie Shaw had a creative ABC deal suspended during the investigation of the alleged conduct of the show. So they decided not to do a third season of this show based on all the craziness that was going on over there with it. Go figure, huh? Smith. A bunch of trash that never should have saw the light of day. Santa Clarita Diet. I don't even know what this is. And I didn't even know it had a fourth season. They're trying to bring the show to Netflix and save the show. I don't know who would ever watch something like that. Santa Clarita Diet. I don't know. That might be something y'all watch. You reminded me why I stopped watching television. Hey, don't worry. The super chat works here on the screen feed. You can super chat at any time. The show that has definitely was really over 3 years ago. Lethal Weapon. All the stars quit. So I don't know how they axed the show when everybody quit. Cole and Murtaugh. Damon Wayans quit because he was the first star who had the job. Clayne Crawford was fired over his own set behavior. He was endangering everybody. He was just wild. He was really Riggs. So then they brought in Sean William Scott to be the new guy, Cole. Riggs really got fired. So they had Riggs die on the show and bring in a guy named Cole. So they finally gave up on the show. But surprisingly, the show was a success for a while. And I can't believe it lasted 3 seasons. Normally, shows with names that started off alpha movies don't last. Then Netflix announced the upcoming end to the show Easy. Now, Easy is a show that's big here in Chicago. If you're not over 50, you're not watching Easy. It just show a bunch of residents and people who are in their 50s living in modern day Chicago. After 2 good seasons, the showrunners decide a third will be its last because the people that's watching the show have all passed away. So, unfortunately, the people watching the show had passed away last season, and now they don't have any more 50-year-olds to try to market to. No, it's a good show, but you got to be in your 50s to watch a show like that. There's a bunch of sitting around talking. Here's another controversial one that people are upset about. NBC Sunnyside. It is over. Cal Penn's comedy show that he had. People loved it. The first series of the new fall to get the X. It shocked a lot of people. So now you won't even be able to see the show on TV no more. You can only get it on the NBC app and NBC.com. Can you watch the last episodes? Sunnyside. A lot of people are upset about that. They love Sunnyside. They's like, Sunnyside is funny. I'm like, I saw one episode and it looked really funny. I didn't have the time to really vest into binge watching it. So maybe. And Netflix is canceling Chambers. Uma Thurman's that supernatural show Chambers. So a lot of people like, thank you for bringing this story out, Chambers. I never saw Chambers on Netflix. It never was even suggested to me, but it's like 80s, 70s, 80s style horror. Speechless. A show that really should have been over after 2 seasons. Got 3 seasons, and now they realize this is the end. Speechless is about a mom whose kid who's in a wheelchair. He's got he can't really talk that well. He's got to use like the special chair and she lashes out at everybody, the protective mom thing. And she went through that and getting him adjusted. But then a show like that can only last so long. You can't, that story and the premise of him being speechless and the mom defending him and him being accepted. And it was a great show when it started. Got the critic, the Television Critics Association Awards, but those type of shows are hard to expand to like 5, 6, 7 seasons. It's like the characters have met their arc. Now it's time for the show to go. So when you have a good arc, you want a show that can expand throughout decades. Oh no, not my show splitting up together. Oh no. Splitting up together. No. Man, Jenna Fisher and Oliver Hudson, a couple who decided to live together after getting a divorce because it was cheaper. That show was funny and was great. I could relate to that show. They gave that the ex. I thought they were finna get back together. They got a kid and everything, and they like, look, it's cheaper if we just live together. We know each other already. We divorced. You can go out on dates. I can go out on dates. We roommates. Oh, buddy, I knew that situation was finna blow up. I like that show. See, now that's some real life stuff. There's people really doing this stuff. My ex was doing that. I told you I came in there and he was on the couch. She's like, yeah, it's my kid's father. He got up. Hey, Carcino, man. Yeah, man, I be watching your videos, man. I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Well, it's no surprise. Netflix is giving one day at a time, no more days of time, as it's getting a hook. As a remake, the Latino version remake of the original One Day of a Time. You know, can't believe it got 4 seasons. They should be very thankful this show got 4 seasons. Because I'm stunned. One day at a time, one day at a time. And Netflix is officially canceling The Punisher. It's not their fault. That's a Marvel situation. So sad to say, Punisher had to go. I love the Punisher show on the Netflix. I'm mad that it's gone, but that's a Marvel Disney situation. Had nothing to do with the show, just like Jessica Jones. But Jessica Jones could go. I can't believe they got a season 3 for Jessica Jones. She was irritating to me. And the show that really didn't get off the ground was that Kenan Michael Key. His show that he got, Friends from College, with Kobe Smulders was on there sometime. He had Fred Savage. If you got Fred Savage on there, you know, it's done. Well, Big Bang Theory ran its course. They're all super rich and they're all super taken care of for life. They just did a $500 million deal. Oh yeah, that's that chick. Whoa. Orange is the New Black is leaving. That chick with all that junk in the trunk. My goodness. She ain't coming back. Woo wee. She was incredible. Oh, finally, Veep is over. Thank you. Season 7 only got 7 episodes. It shouldn't even have any. That show to me was just a waste of time. The Affair is over. After 5 years, the award winning show, The Affair. Well, they brought in Anna Paquin. They brought in Rogue on the show, and that ruined the show. And they didn't go in the direction they thought. So the show went rogue, and that ruined it. Legion. Now that was a good show, but it was just in the wrong platform. And X-Men spinoff show returned from a third and final season in June. But, you know, with all this stuff that's going on with Marvel and Fox, that's just was not going to last very long. Legion is done. Night Flyers are gone. Night Flyers was an alright show. It was on the Sci-Fi Network. It's just one of those shows that you can't really expand past a season or two. Outer space sci-fi show. Some show called Counterpart. I don't even remember Counterpart. But that show's out of here. A TV show called The First with Sean Penn. That's out of here. The Deuce. The HBO's 1970 drama. It got great reviews. But after the third and final season, that's it. There'll be no more of The Deuce. I Love You, America. The Hulu show by Sarah Silverman. It's over. If Sarah Silverman's in it, it's pretty much going to be over very soon. Trial and Error. The legal comedy just wasn't funny. Hi, Zombie is gone. Oh God, I know somebody that's finna fall out when she hear that. Hi, Zombie's gone. You know how many people love that show? The CW. Hi, Zombie. I thought it was stupid, but people loved it. Gotta love it. Hi, Zombie. People love that. I worked on the deuce. Don't like it. Oh man, ain't nothing wrong with that. And unbelievable, the shock of all shocks, the unbreakable Kimmy Smith is coming to an end. Oh my God, there are white 30-year-old people running around in the streets upset over this show. This movie, all 4 seasons, has had 95% on the tomato rating meter. It's just that Kimmy Smith was getting a bit old. Uh-oh. This is gonna hurt this crazy sci-fi group that I seen up there at the Star Wars convention. Travelers is leaving Netflix. Uh-oh, they might go on a rampage now. Start shooting people with electric razors. Pew, 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 pew. It's my invisible laser ray. How dare you get rid of travelers? Pew, pew, pew. Thank you, Darius Moore. Oh, don't believe me. Lonnie Love's situation will be spoken on very soon. Very, very soon. We want to get an in-depth video on Lonnie Love. I was just waiting for something. But don't worry. It's coming. Sci-Fi has opted to pull the plug on the horror Channel Zero. Channel Zero was actually terrifying. They had some episodes, that 4-part series and everything. I'm like, man, this thing is actually pretty scary. So yeah, the writer's gonna get some jobs. Somebody to look into hiring them. Home thought this thing was canceled like 7 years ago. Once my man Axe left the show, I thought that was it. But I needed him to be Axe, baby. And Mr. Robot is canceled. The final season of Mr. Robot. The USA show that had Rami Malek. Well, the thing about it is, Rami Malek looks just like a robot, so that fits. But he's got other things going now. He's got, ever since that Queen movie, which I said he was going to blow the walls off of that performance before it was even done. A year before the movie was out, I got a video saying I had the first shots, and I said he looked just like Freddie Mercury. He's going to tear this role up. Sure enough, now he's through the roof. Now he's the villain in the Bond movie. The Man in the High Castle. That show's over. That was an Amazon Prime. Normally they don't cancel stuff. And Criminal Minds is gone. Uh-oh. After all these years, Criminal Minds is gone. 15 years of Criminal Minds is coming to an end. That's massive, folks. Something called Pole Dark is out of here too. I don't know what Pole Dark is. Maybe y'all know. And look, he just let you know too that the super chat works here. The super chat button works over here. How to Get Away with Murder is gone. Whoa. They just had one of their biggest years of all these twists and turns. Wow. The sixth season, it's over. The killer. Final season. Who will make it out alive? And Lucifer is not coming back after it was saved on Netflix. Now the series is officially going to hell where it belongs. The Rain, a Danish movie. The final season will be on Netflix. And yeah, I remember The Passage is already canceled after one season. Just wasn't marketed right. And Netflix had a season, The Girl with All the Gifts, that thing. And then Tuca and Birdie, Netflix canceled it after one season. Tiffany Haddish and Ali Wong, they did their vocals on the show. I watched like 2 episodes. It was funny. Beverly Hills 2090210, the remake or whatever. Nobody cared. Everybody who watched the original is now too grown to be watching this show. And their kids is like, ew. You used to watch this, Mom? Every show that come on now is a 90210 show. So why do we need the original cast of 90210? Which brings us to a conclusion. Sino is out.